everyone, it's good to be back. I know I took a very long hiatus, but that is because life is life and sometimes you just need a break. So I'm back to start off my YouTube channel for the new year and the end of this year by talking about one of my most anticipated, which was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Let me start off by saying this review is both objective and subjective. I'm going to give you the objective part and then I'm going to give you the subjective part. And please excuse my subjective part because I was super excited about this. And this goes to say with the subjective part, that is where I'll try not to spoil anything. But if I do, I apologize. So this is a spoiler alert, but this is hopefully a spoiler-free review. And my spoiler review will be on my website when that comes up. So let's get started with the bad. So with this movie, it's jumbled. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. The director is David Yates, who also directed a couple of the other Harry Potter movies. And some of the ones he directed, which I believe were the first and second, they're a little jumbled. He tries to put a lot of information into one movie and you get lost in it. There are maybe about 3 to 4 different types of stories going on here, and you're trying to keep up. And I can see that. I'm not blind. It's because I love this movie. I'm not blind to the issues of it. I want to review movies. I'm not going to be completely subjective the whole way through. But anyway, so we follow Newt and Tina. We've got Jacob and Queenie. We've got Dumbledore and the Ministry. We've got Grindelwald and his plan with Credence. And Credence trying to find his thing. And then we all on top of that, we have Lita Lestrange and her story. And I get why she's in here, but the way it was introduced, I have a problem with. They introduced her story and why she's so important to this and why she ties into Credence at the end during the exposition of the movie. However, they don't give enough detail before, like why is Credence part of Lita's story, or what made them think that he was part of this poem, this prediction that they kept talking about throughout the movie. And they didn't even explain the prediction. I don't know this guy's backstory. I don't know what he's talking about. All I know is that by the exposition, I get some explanation, and I really wish they would have kind of not had so many subplots so they could focus on that if that was to be Credence's whole pathway that Grindelwald wanted him to follow. Now, if Grindelwald started this whole thing, then I get it, but they didn't show that. Now, also with the bad was a piggyback on this where it's a whole bunch of plot holes and it just needs a little bit more explanation. This is why I wanted J.K. Rowling to make a prequel series book. That way, all of us would have read it. And when the movie came out, this wouldn't have been a problem. When Harry Potter came out, pretty much the world read the books, and any little detail that was missing, we were okay with. But because this isn't a book series, every little detail is important. And when the details are left out, that's how you end up with a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, because there's some details left out. Now, I would like the next movie, since this is going to be 4 or 5 movies, to kind of backtrack a little bit. But then again, that's not a good idea either, because you still need to move the story forward. So there's no need to keep going back when you have to move the story forward. So there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie, but I don't think they executed it well enough for most general audiences that just started with the Harry Potter franchise with Fantastic Beasts to understand. And of course, with the whole secrets revealing and new characters being added and people's accents, it's just, there was a lot. And I understand why the internet's so upset about how this movie turned out, because there is a lot of problems with the movie. I'm not gonna lie. And that is just on the surface of it, without me having to spoil anything as to why this part is the bad part. Now, on to the good. With the good part, I am going to put on my rose-colored nostalgia glasses. I'm going to geek out for a little bit. And I'm going to say, even with the plot holes, I love this movie. It was the rush. It was the feel. It's like, and I hate to say this, it's like people who like comic book movies and can't see the flaws in them. You love these movies on and on and on, but you don't see the flaws. It's just like, that doesn't make any sense. But you have your rose-colored nostalgia glasses on, or you have the spectacle just hitting you in the face so much that you won't see the issues with the movie. And it's just vice versa. So now the people who love the comic books don't like Harry Potter, and Harry Potter people don't like the comic book. It just happens. But this movie gives me little bits and pieces to tie into the world that I know and love that I can't wait for the next one. Without spoiling anything, it gives me two big reveals. One smaller than the other, but to me, they're huge. And I would love to keep going with that. And I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I'm hoping with these movies, whether it's 4 or 5, that eventually we get to the point where Tom Riddle is in Hogwarts. That's what I'm thinking that the pathway is going. That's where I hope the pathway is going. Because with Dumbledore trying to destroy the blood curse that him and Grindelwald have, that's a spoiler. Heads up. I told you that was going to happen. But they do have one. And so with him trying to fix that and everything happening with Credence and with Queenie and with Jacob and with Newt, Tina and his brother, just all this stuff that's part of the bad. So with everything that's happening, I can't wait to see it go in that direction, because I think that's where it's headed. It has to be. There's one character that's introduced where it doesn't make sense that we just leave it there. Either J.K. Rowling is doing this. She's either giving us this movie to lead up to Tom Riddle, or almost there, and then we get a book series where it's all about the First Order of Phoenix and all about Voldemort and him growing up and all this good stuff and him making his Horcruxes and all that good things. Or she's gonna make more movies. Either way, I feel like we should have got books first. I would have loved to have books first. Can't believe I didn't have book first. I'm kind of upset. And I understand that with the plot holes, a book first would have worked. Because Fantastic Beasts is only a textbook. It's not a full-fledged thing. And then to continue on the good, you get to see a little bit more of people's abilities in this. And one of the big things is Grindelwald's influence. Now, I know there was a huge controversy with Johnny Depp playing Grindelwald. Everybody was like, no, this is happening, this is happening. I love Johnny Depp as an actor. I do. And if what is happening and what was said about him is true, I am truly, truly mortified that he's that kind of person. However, he did a really good job as Grindelwald. And I think that ties more so into the bad. Grindelwald and young Dumbledore did not have enough screen time at all. And I needed more of that. So I'm hoping that's what the third movie is going to do. It's going to show them more. It's going to have them in there more. It's going to show their abilities more. Because all they kept saying was Grindelwald is Dumbledore's equal and Dumbledore is Grindelwald's equal. Dumbledore is Grindelwald's equal, Grindelwald's Dumbledore's equal. We know that. We know how it ends. Unfortunately, I wish we didn't know how, but we know how it ends. We just didn't know what led up to it. So this is what we're getting. We're getting what led up to it. We know what the end result, but we want to see it. And with that, they didn't really get it enough information or enough time to explore them. But I loved seeing them. Jude Law is an interesting Dumbledore, because I'm still partial to Harry Potter, the first 2 movies, that Dumbledore. I'm so sorry when he passed. I was like, no, he was perfect. He was like majestic and calm, and the demeanor you expect from someone who's super powerful. You just expect him to be calm and majestic and wise. Granted, Gamble did a great job, but I just like the first one better. And on that, I think my nostalgia glasses kind of hinder me a little bit with this movie, but I absolutely love this movie. I absolutely saw it twice within 2 days. And I went with my friend and I told her, I was like, girl, you have to catch everything. And so when she watched it, she's like, I gotta go back a second time. And then some of my coworkers went and they're like, I gotta go back a second time. We are all seeing this with nostalgia glasses, and seeing it through nostalgia glasses sometimes can hinder you. I get it, but I'm not an idiot when it comes to looking at movies. I can be objective even if I like the movie. And I love this movie. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. And I'm probably gonna go see it a third time just because I love going back to this world. It's like once Middle Earth was done, I was just like, oh, I need more Middle Earth. And the same thing with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I need it in my life. I grew up with it. It's just a part of me. And when it stops, I stop. And it just, I'm gonna cry a little bit, but I'm gonna be all right. But I would recommend going seeing it for yourself. Don't listen to the reviews. If you want to put on your rose-colored nostalgia glasses and go see this movie, do it, because especially if you're an avid Harry Potter fan, there are so many little gems in there that you will not be able to contain your excitement. And I wish I could spoil it for you, because I would in a heartbeat, because I did it for my sister, but I won't do it to you guys. Go see the movie, keep dreaming, have a blessed day, and I will see you on the next movie review.